Welcome to Mick and the Psychic, where we leave no stone unturned as we explore all things outside the apparent physical realm.
There is no intent to teach or make you believe or disbelieve anything. It is just a safe space to listen and explore with us.
So for this next episode, you have permission to open your heart and mind as you join myself and Xavier on this deep dive into the unknown.
You can read the story and come back and read the poem. And you can connect. Now we call it fifth dimension reading. Not only just palm reading, it's a higher level of reading who do like me. Anybody who knows how to connect to the cosmos can do exactly what I do.
Well, we're very blessed to have Singh Modi with us, who is actually the happiness and love consultant, which I love that title. Singh Modi realized at an early age that his calling was to teach people about spiritual awareness and inspire them to experience joy. After more than 66 years of spiritual study and practice, he acquired a vast knowledge of all world religions, as well as the teachings of the world's greatest spiritual masters. By reading the palms of probably well over 60,000 people by now, from 193 countries, Singh Modi was able to share his spiritual wisdom and guide his clients on how to discover their gifts and life purpose. His greatest discovery is that love is an exchange of joy. I love that. Besides his palm reading, practice, and spiritual teachings, Singh Modi is also the founder of Indo-Greek Yoga. He's also the founder of Global 7 Direction School of Choices. And of course, plenty of time to be the author of many books. The Heart Speaks to the Mind, Mary Energy, Mother Mary's Gift of Love, Christ, Mother Mary's Gift of Light, Discover Your Divine Destiny, and Live with Joy, Five-Finger Path to Happiness, Feng Shui of the Mind. I need to clear a few things out of mine, I think. And you're probably in the process of writing many other books too. So welcome. Thank you so much for coming on the show with us.
Thank you very much. My next book is called I'm Amazed and Amazed, Amazed, Amazed.
So after all that you've done and all of the places that you've been, you're still writing a book that you're still amazed.
I'm writing 3 more books, 4, because the 10 fingers. So I want to write 10 books, for each finger 1 book.
Okay.
So there are 4 more books left. And the next book is called I'm Amazed and Amazed and Amazed. And after that is Love is a Journey and No Distance.
Wow.
Then Wisdom for the Cosmos.
Ooh.
And then final will be how to discover by connecting with the heart your journey on this planet. That is the last book I will write, 10th book.
Wow. You need to like spread it out more, so you know you're on this planet a little bit longer. So don't start that last book until you're really ready.
Start it when you're 100.
Yeah.
I like to start with my first visit to Delphi in Greece. I used to be a tour guide, and this tour was called Mind, Body, Spirit Tour.
Mm-hmm.
I did this for 10 years. There are some people from Australia, from India, from America, from Canada, from many countries, Europe, they used to travel. And first we'll go to Egypt, and we used to call Egypt as the mind. Then Jerusalem was spirit, and Greece was the body. Now everybody asks me, why is the Greece the body?
Yeah. And
Egypt is the mind and Jerusalem is spirit. Now, Egypt is easy to understand because it gave birth to the Temple of Karnak, and also it built the pyramid. So the Egyptian mind was able to create a great pyramid. And spirit, Jerusalem, all the great prophets like Moses, Abraham, and Jesus, they walked from the land and make the land holy. Because a Jewish rabbi asked me, was Jerusalem holy because the prophet came? I said, no. Jerusalem, Israel became holy because the the prophet touched their land with the feet. That made it holy, not because it was holy before.
Ah, yeah.
And Greece is the body, and I will like to make you laugh, because that's the only country where all the gods were gay.
Ah, there you go.
Ah, I didn't even know
Apollo
that. Why didn't I
and
know that?
Zeus both were, all the gods were gay. That's the greatest mind of Greece. Before Jesus, all were gay.
Wow.
Socrates gay, Alexander the Great was gay.
Of course, yeah.
Every Greek great mind, because in their civilization, they believed 500 before Christ was born, the woman to just have for children, a man for sex. They used to, just after giving birth to a child, they leave the woman and then only relate themselves men. But
Yeah.
Jesus changed their mind. He said, no, woman for love, man for friendship. So that's a shift after 500 years. But before the birth of Jesus, every great philosopher was a gay.
Okay.
There you go.
Balance.
And that's why I call it body, because they love the human body, the pleasure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why Greece was body, Egypt was mind, Jerusalem spirit. And that really helped me a lot. One of the great teachers in America, Louise Hay, many people might have heard her name. She was my deputy leader. In 1980, I took her to Egypt, Greece, and we taught a workshop in the Holy Land. I was the leader of the group. She was my deputy leader.
You taught Louise Hay.
Yeah, and she taught me, she studied with me 1 year, palmistry. I taught her
Wow.
6 months, beginning, 6 months advanced. She took my palmistry class. Then I used to go and visit her house in LA. I used to get me a lot of customers to read their palms.
Wow.
I used to stay in the house too. So a lot of people say, and last time I read her poem, she was 86-year-old. I said, Louise, I'm happy you can live 100, but she died at 90. But she was one of my friends. You know, we were colleagues, and also sometimes was a student, but also I was one of the person who helped her to make her book, You Can Love Your Life, as bestseller.
Oh, wow.
And that's a secret I can't share, but I can assure you, I can speak in people's ear, but not openly.
Okay. Let's put it in our ear after the podcast.
Yeah.
I made a promise that I can't share.
Well,
Yeah.
definitely keep that promise. But the very important books that she was writing too.
40 million books have been sold. 40 million.
Yeah, yeah.
That's nice
And
to know.
when I bought the first book, it only was like about $4. Now it becomes $16.
Well, you know, that's often what happens. You know, you can make all of the money after you die. That's how useful money is to us, isn't it?
Yeah.
But every time I used to visit with her, she'll get me a lot of customers to read the poems.
And
Can I come to, I really want to come back to this. I mean, we have a Mind, Body, Spirit festival that happens all across Australia. I think it happens all across the world. But it's all in one convention center, and you just walk around the stalls and talk to people. Your Mind, Body, Spirit festival is actually going to particular parts of the planet.
Yes.
How did that come about? How did you know some of the things that you knew about these different lands? Did it come to you in a dream or something that you'd heard of other people? How would you know these secrets?
Let me start my journey for the Temple of Karnak. The Temple of Karnak, everybody must have heard, is in Egypt.
Yeah.
And this temple had a mystery school almost 3,700 years ago. And all the greatest minds, like Alexander the Great, Jesus Christ, Moses, all they went to study there in the mystery school. I happen to be high priest of the Temple of Karnak. So that gives you the basis of my information. It carried on for many lifetimes. And that's why I went back to those lands. I went to Temple of Karnak again more than 10 times to reconnect. Secondly, when I went to Delphi, first visit was 1984, 85 as a tour guide. I was very curious to know why Socrates said, know thyself, but he forgot to tell us how to know ourselves. He said, know thyself, but he didn't tell you how to know thyself.
You said to do it, not how. Yeah.
As I teach now how to know thyself. That's one of my mission. I teach you because I went to the prison house in Athens to meet the spirit of Socrates, to ask him to guide me how to know thyself. I say, you forgot to tell people how to know thyself. So he shared with me.
Was he offended?
Thyself. Yeah.
You just called out Socrates.
and when I went first at Delphi, it's written there at the entrance, know thyself before you enter.
Yeah.
I get very curious. It says, if you go to a holy place, any place to visit, first you know why you're there. Otherwise, you won't even know what for you're there.
Yeah.
So this planet is also like a temple. We come here, but we have to know why you're here. And if you know, as Socrates taught, as the temple of Delphi taught, as the temple of Karnak taught us, that's the beginning of real knowledge. Know thyself. And I honestly believe, unless you know thyself, love yourself, you can never know the secret of life. So I've been teaching a class now. I think I teach now 10 students in Sweden. There's one in Melbourne, one in Hawaii, a few in LA, a few in Czech Republic, one in India. So I'm teaching like people around the world, know thyself, love thyself. And I did share with Charles in Melbourne. He's one of my, I am one of the person who discovered him.
Yes, Charles is a good friend of mine. He's beautiful.
Yeah, I when he was working in the lounge, Pascal lounge in Qantas, I went there and he was curious. I say, I can read your palm. So then, when I read your palm, I said, you're wasting your time. You're not supposed to work here.
Yes.
I said, Charles, you're a psychic. He said, are you sure? I said, look at your hand.
So you did discover him. You told him to, like, he should be leaving Qantas and being a psychic, and he's wonderful. He does pass.
And every time you go to visit, you get a lot of customers. In the
Yes.
I used to go to his lounge, and all the staff will come and get the palm read.
Yeah.
And one of the girls told me, I've been trying to get pregnant, but didn't happen for last 3 times, miscarried. I say, if you promise me you got me 5 clients, I can help you how to get pregnant. So I taught her how to pray to Mary, the mother of Jesus. I taught her spiritual. One of my job also is to help women. A few eggs left and they don't get pregnant. I help them to connect with Mary, the mother of Jesus, and pray to the spirit of the unborn child and help them get pregnant too. That's other my job, which I do with an American doctor who's an MD.
How did that end up in your job description? To connect people that want to have babies, connect them with the mother of Jesus to then help them have a baby.
And also pray to the baby spirit to convince them, because the child is not willing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The three part
wife,
the mother and father, the unborn, all must be in alignment.
Yes.
If the baby don't agree, you can't get pregnant no matter how hard you try, because some of the people go to the doctor, spend $500,000 to get 10,000 eggs, but nothing get fertilized.
And it's quite a traumatic experience for families trying to have children and going through that process where the mother is like a guinea pig, a science experiment for months and months.
Yeah.
It's so horrific. So you're saying that it's more an agreement from the spirit side that's important.
Yes, all 3. The unborn child choose both parents, and parents choose the unborn.
Yes. So they all need to communicate on a spiritual level.
In the spiritual level,
right.
If the unborn don't agree, then you have to choose another child.
Yeah. So how does Mother Mary help with that situation?
Mary was one of the few persons in human history who was born with 6 chakra open.
Right.
And do you know why? The reason they choose Mary to the mother of Christ, because the real virgin birth simply means that Mary didn't interfere with the birth of Christ, and she delivered in the way God sent with no interference. A lot of mothers, when they're unhappy, their marriage is broken, a husband leave them, they don't love the baby in the womb, and baby end up seeing a psychiatrist and go to jail, and they do cry. So they wanted to make sure that Mary is in a good state of mind, so you don't interfere with the birth of Christ. So it's easy for her to become a prophet. So this is why Mary was raised to level 6 chakra before even she was born.
Wow.
in human history, you won't find many people born with 6 chakra open. And
Wow.
when she conceived Jesus, she delivered in 6 chakra. So that's why he didn't work too hard. Only had to open 1 chakra before 33-year-old. I'm sorry, before 29, he opened 7 chakra. Until 29, Jesus, 7 chakra was not open.
So hers was open earlier. How do you know
Well,
that?
she would have only been 12 or 13. She would have been very young.
Yeah.
Well, she was about like under 14. She was 14 when she got
14.
pregnant.
Okay, right.
And Joseph was only like 16.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they got pregnant. But this other secret I want to not share too much because some people won't be happy. So
That's okay. They can choose to listen or not. It's up to them.
That's fine.
You share
Yeah.
whatever wisdom you would like.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think what they meant by as virgin birth. The virgin birth simply means Mary didn't interfere with the birth of Christ. She delivered the way God sent him with no interference. That's the meaning of virgin birth.
Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense.
So he was born on 6 levels, so his journey was only to open one chakra.
Wow.
Wow.
This is my study. When I wrote the book of Mary Energy, I had to find out from Mary how she was able to give birth to Jesus on 6th plane.
You
So I had to
found out
channel
from Mary.
I had to channel Angel Gabriel because he knew the story. Because Gabriel says, nobody else knows except me because I was helping Mary before she got pregnant.
Correct.
How to educate. And Mary was educating Jesus in the womb before Jesus was born even.
Mm.
So you channeled that information from Archangel Gabriel, who told you
That's
about the chakras of Mary and why she was chosen.
That's the only place to get. There's no book written about this. Nobody has written any book on this one.
Amazing.
So with the channeling, I mean, this is great. You can go to the source. You can just ask Gabriel. Is this some of these things that you do? Asking, just going to the source and channeling, and picking up Socrates for his forgetfulness. This sort of thing, is that something that was studied in some of these mystic schools that you're talking about? Is this the information that you're
in the temple of Karnak? I was a high priest at Delphi.
Yep.
I was a high priest in Delphi which was where the oracle, the first channeling was done in the Western world of Delphi.
Forgive my lineal mind, but are you talking as a past life or this current life? Past life.
Past life I was a high priest in Delphi.
Right.
And I was a high priest temple of Karnak.
Yep.
And that's where I carry the information, because I sometimes make me laugh. I say, now I have 3 consultants, 3G.
Yeah.
First Google, then Gabriel, then God. But Google doesn't know. When Google doesn't know, Gabriel knows. Gabriel doesn't know, God knows. Or God doesn't know, nobody knows.
It's not important. If God doesn't know, then you asked the wrong question. It's not important. You've missed the point.
I have 3G consultant. No, 3G.
Write that down.
You do.
3G.
I like that.
That's funny.
That's good. So
by the way, laughter is my religion. Laughter is my religion.
Laughter is your religion. That's the best religion. I think that's mine too.
I make you laugh. Like one of the. I need to tell you how, just a story, which is to make you laugh. I used to teach in a school in New York, in Harlem, and it was the director of the school has a herbal store and spiritual bookstore. So he liked me. He says, I have a TV show called From the Womb by Aquarius. Would you like to have an interview? I said, sure. I gave an interview in 1978 on the womb by Aquarius, and he asked me, the scientists say man came to a monkey. What do you say? I said, not true, because you rub the tail of the monkey, you can never become human, even do for 10,000 years. Yeah. So monkey was monkey, human was human. He laughed. Yeah. So I want to make you laugh. You can't make a monkey into a human, even rub his tail for the next 10,000 years.
So it's interesting. Myself and Xavier have experience with past lives, just in our professions. I'm a hypnotherapist, so There's not too much mystic stuff goes on with what I do, not on purpose anyway. But one of the things I think is that people are interested in their past lives to learn certain things. But one of the things is that you don't necessarily want to remember everything from your past lives, because your brain will probably explode, and we deal enough with what we experience in our own current life. Is this something where you actually have access to a lot of these memories in your past lives? Like, because it's very different to other people. It's not normal, I think, for people to have the powers from past lives. Is that something that you think is different, or everyone should have?
The simple answer is, if you teach a child who are like 6-7-year-old what we learned in the last 10,000 years, it'll take you 10,000 years to educate him.
True.
But the moment he says A, B, C, he already remembers. So you're not teaching him anything. You're just making him remember what he forgot. Mm-hmm. So if he has to remember everything from this lifetime, or you have to update him like computer, it takes you 10,000 years to educate him. So he carries a memory in genetic structure. Mm-hmm. He has the information. As soon as you say A, he remembers what A is. So the teacher don't have to tell him. If he doesn't know anything, you can keep shouting and shouting. He has no clue what you're talking. So that tells you a lot of things which you understand. We already know them from the past. You might have experienced, read a book, and while reading, say, oh, this I already know. What is talking? There's nothing new.
Yeah.
They only confirm what you know. So the only reason you can't remember everything, because then you're living in the past. You can't live in the present.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
You're just trying to solve your problem, but you didn't solve 10,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago. Yeah. So that's why you have selective memory of things which help you to go forward.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the reason you will only know when opportunity comes to express yourself or learning something new. That's one of the reasons I believe that you carry that memory from the past inside your genetic structure. And there's also a memory in the space. When I do one of my reading, like fifth dimension reading of palm, I discovered the hand is like so small. Your life story is in 10,000 pages. And this even can't contain 2% information. Even read all the book of Palmistry, you already know 2% of the palm. Mm-hmm. So rest 98% in the space, outer space.
Yeah, to access. Yeah.
Yeah. So I learned what is not in the palm, but not the book to access. I call it the cosmic awareness or cosmic consciousness. And you can read the story and come back and read the palm, and you can connect. And this only happened last like 8-9 years before I just was used to read what the book taught me, what my experience taught me. But now we call it fifth dimension reading, not only just palm reading, it's a higher level of reading, which I don't think there are many people in the world do. There are few who do like me. Anybody who knows how to connect to the cosmos can do exactly what I do. So, but they have to access to another level, another dimension. And I now want to again make you laugh. I met a producer in Hollywood. When I read her palm, she was about 39-year-old. I could see only 10, 15 lovers. So she said, I got 100 lovers. I said, then I had a space to these 100 people. So there must be 90 in the outer space and 10 in your palm.
90 aliens and 10 in a palm.
So this sort of information for partners is not great as well. They have to be very careful at who you're sharing information with.
Well, Mr. Modi, as I affectionately call him, he read my palm years ago, and he's a very important part of my story, because one of those tours he was talking about, Charles, who we mentioned earlier, organized one of those beautiful spiritual tours, and I got to go overseas, and Mr. Modi was our tour guide. So I got to go to India and have a very beautiful experience over there. And he read my palm prior to that, and he explained to me about my marriage. You could see, and I think it's on the right finger, isn't it? The right little finger. Mr. Modi, that there was
Yeah.
2 lines and he could see my marriage, and he told me that if it wasn't sorted and my husband didn't accept me for who I was by 35, it wouldn't work out well. And because he saw another line there of my next partner, who I'm now engaged to. And everything happened just as he said, because our marriage was rocky at the time, and we did evolve. I did evolve and change, and we drifted apart. And then I found Daniel. So he's very special to me, Mr. Modi, because he was part of that whole history of mine. And he read our palms again just a couple of days ago online, which was fantastic. Yeah, and we just really loved that experience. But when you were just talking about past lives and Mr. Modi and how, you know, it's living in the past, you need to focus more on the present. You said a line that really resonated with me, and I wrote it down. You said, the past is for learning and the present is for living.
Yes.
I really liked that line. So yeah, just remind me of it as you're talking about the past life connection.
And you know, by the way, I read more than 3,000 people in Melbourne, their palms. And every time I visit, I get about 100 people. I'm busy like 12 to 14 hours a day. Sometimes don't even eat my lunch, only breakfast and dinner. I do non-stop, like 12, 13 hours reading.
Yeah,
But unfortunately, because of pandemic, I couldn't come for the last 2 years. But every year I come to Melbourne.
yes.
And before I used to go to Sydney, but I've been coming to Australia since 1997. And I was lucky to read The Hand of a Koala Bear. I'm the only one in the world who read the palm of a koala bear in Brisbane. I went to, so I was very curious because
you read the palm of a koala.
Yeah, I read this 7, 8 times, but they usually charge you $30 to enter in the zoo before you can read his palm.
Yes.
So instead of he paying me money, I had to pay $30 to get his palm read. When we went inside,
what could you see for the koala?
I mean, I saw his lifeline very short. They can live only like about 18, 20 years unless they do intravenous, food. Then he lived 27 years. Then I saw he had a no heart line. Do you know why he had no heart line?
No.
Because he sleep 18 hours a day. And when you wake up, he's so hungry. For 3 hours, he eat nonstop. 1/3 of a tree leaves, only left 1 hour to make money. Then hug you, get a picture, charge $30. So no social lives, no time to a girlfriend.
I love. Oh, just instinct.
That's amazing.
That's why he has only mind, no heart. He can't expect, no time to have a social life. So I was.
So did you
lucky.
connect? Did you connect then? Because I mean, you talk about reading palms now, kind of like how I guess psychics use tarot cards, where the cards are a tool to then use that to connect with a higher story.
Correct.
Were you able to do that with the koala? Was that something where you could? Yes. What was interesting there?
I was very curious because he's the ancestor of the Aborigine. He lived in a dream time. The only animal I found live in a dream time, because even when he's awake, he's dreaming.
Right.
So that means I thought that he's the ancestor of the Aborigine.
Yeah.
So I wanted to meet somebody live in a dream time. The koala bear is the best example of somebody living most of the time the dream time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That made me curious to this poem.
Did you speak with any Indigenous Australians and Aboriginals about that?
Yeah, in the Cairns, I read a few hundred people's poems. I read many of them.
Okay, what did they say about? Did they have anything to say about koalas being connected with the dream time? Is that in their tradition?
I saw a theater, a dream time. So I wanted to meet somebody who live in a dream time. I found Koala Bear, the one who actually live in a dream time. You will be amazed how he sleep. He hold his hand, and 18 hours he doesn't fall down from a tree. I read in a book he doesn't stay on the ground. He's afraid somebody can eat him in the night. That's why he's sleeping in the tree.
Yeah. Amazing.
I'm the only person in the world who read a koala bear's poem for 8-9 years. I used to go to Brisbane and spend 3 days, read a koala bear, walk around the city. But most of the reason I visited was to go to visit the koala bear, read his poem. Then all the girls who take care of them, they used to ask me, "You can't read his poem unless you read your poem." I say, "Okay, I read your poem too."
Very good. I can't believe you still had to pay to go in there. You could have paid for $30 and then charged them $160 for the palm reading.
Read the palms.
You could work it out.
I read his poem 6-7 times, not one time.
I
Wow.
live here and I still haven't cuddled a koala bear.
And also I read a monkey's poem in New York.
Okay.
I shouldn't
And
say
that was Louis. It was Louise's friend's monkey. And they were studying palmistry with me. She asked me, would you like to read a monkey's poem? I said, for sure. I never read a monkey's poem. So she had a boyfriend who was a producer, and she was an acting professor at NYU, New York University. So went to her home, and the caller was sat in a stool, and she turned music because I was very happy to listen to music. So with one hand, he picked my hair, other hand, he showed me. I was reading his poem.
Wow.
And he sat 15 minutes to get his poem read. So I saw in his hand like two lovers. So I said, Diane, I know Diane Gardner. I said, Diane, this monkey has two lovers. She said, maybe it's me and my boyfriend. I said, no, these are female monkeys, not you. So within 10 days, he got so mad, he attacked her boyfriend. He was also going to kill him. So then they found a home in a zoo where he found two female monkeys. So now he's living in a zoo with his two girlfriends. So
There you
even
go.
his prediction came true.
Happy days.
Wow.
For sure, don't keep monkeys.
Yeah,
like
we
it
shouldn't
never
keep
ends good.
monkeys.
No.
Yeah. He's meant to be with his lady friends.
I think it'd be interesting if you read The Palm of a Bonobo, because those things would have so many lines on their hands from lovers. It's not funny.
Only listen, somebody wanted to bring me gorilla in New York. I said, no, I don't want it. You bring Center Park, I read it, not in my home.
You've got 4 more books to write, Mr. Modi.
And
4 more books to write. Let's not be reading the palms of gorillas
Yeah,
and
you don't want to get on the wrong side.
the tongues of sharks. Let's just keep let's keep
I'm the first one in the world who read the hand of Jesus in Bethlehem. Do you know, read the palm of Jesus?
How did you?
So,
Which life
did you read the palm of Jesus?
You walk in the manger where he's born. You see a little boy playing there too. From the presence, read his aura. From the aura, read his palm. So I can read that people's palm too, through the aura or through the colors on the painting. So I can read a painter's palm through the painting and the color. The color of the painting, I read the palms.
Okay, so does the palm then? So the palm actually, I shouldn't hold that up. I shouldn't hold my hand up just in case you see it and then read something I don't want to know. But when you've got a palm, when you see the aura, do you actually see a physical palm and then you read what you see in your mind's eye?
Yeah, I can see the aura of the palm through the lines too, because every line is a color. You can see the chakras around the palm.
Okay, right.
So you've read Jesus' palm through his aura.
I read Jesus' palm through his energy field because his energy is still in Bethlehem.
Because the intention was that it's Jesus. So then
also I read the poem Michelangelo in Florence. I went to David. I see the energy field of Michelangelo David, and from that I could read Michelangelo's poem. So I'm one of the few persons in the world who can read David's poem for the artwork.
No one is safe with you, Mr. Modi, because you're reading palms from people that have just done some artwork, and then you can tap into that. So no one's safe.
But anyway, I'm grateful to God that He gave me this wisdom. And
with that wisdom, Mr. Modi, is this something where, because we're talking about past lives and accessing that information, obviously it's not something that's normal because the past is for healing, the present is for living. Do you think that the masters that we see in the living, are they connected more with that information from the past lives? Like, are they accessing more of that information? Like Sadhguru, for instance, has admitted that his past 3 lives have been working on, the one, I don't know what it was, the Dhyana Linga or whatever it is. And he admitted that he's been the last 3 lives, he's been on that. But a lot of these leaders, it's almost like they access the information from past lives to build upon it. Is that something that's true?
I think it's only true for people who are awake, but 88% live in a dream.
Right.
They are born, they go to school, get married, raise children, pay their mortgage, and go to grave. So only 10% of the world are awake.
Right.
And only those 10%, I agree, they can be aware of the past life, but immediate past, like 2 or 3 centuries, which help them to understand the present.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But whole past life, I think very few know, because it will take you back a few centuries in the past.
So do masters understand that? Because you've trained under masters. Obviously, you know, you talk about how you're very grateful to God for the gifts that you've got. These kind of gifts that seem to be extraordinary, is that from people that access more of that past life information, or is that?
Yes, some of the people who are aware, whose destiny is to raise people's consciousness, they are blessed to have this connection with the past, present, future, with all three. Because in my study, time is like a river. If you stand on the bank of river, the water which has flown past in the past, the water which is flowing and you're observing in the present, the water yet to flow is the future. If you remove your hand, a river become one. So you can see the past, present, future happening simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
That's how a psychic sees all things happening simultaneously.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no future, past. Everything is there. Past, present is happening simultaneously.
So when you're not aware, you think that the river is the water, but the river's obviously not the water because it's already.
But when I say remove your hand, means expand your awareness.
Right.
When you expand awareness, the river become one. The past, present, it becomes like a flow.
Mm-hmm. Now, Mr. Modi, you told us that you're not afraid of the big questions. And a lot of people are afraid to answer some of the big questions. So I've got a big question for you.
Yes.
Will our football team win the grand final? Is it? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Is that what you're going to ask?
A little bit bigger. And he's in New York. He'll get all confused about what football you're talking about.
He doesn't care about the Carlton Football Club. Understood.
No, he doesn't know. Yeah. So if the creator or God or however you refer to the cosmos, if it's all it's all about love and joy and learning, why do we have what seemingly would be negative occurrences like the pandemic that we're going through at the moment? Why is that here? And do you know, have you channeled information about big questions like that of why it's here and when is it going to end?
I think pandemic is not an accident because I consult a goddess whose name is Kali. Mm-hmm. And the goddess Kali says, when human beings trying to interfere the balance of man and nature, I try to send some virus to teach them a lesson. So if they don't learn the lesson, I can destroy all of them. Wow. So we were going out of the way to interfere with the balance of man and nature. So this virus came to remind us, wait, if you don't bring balance, we can kill all of you. Wow. And this is just came to remind us, let's care for each other, love each other. And once you learn the lesson, the virus will go away. It's not a punishment. Mm-hmm. It's just a warning. And this message was given almost 4,500 years ago in Bhagavad Gita. Have you heard the name of Lord Krishna?
Yes.
Lord Krishna, when he was guiding his disciple Arjuna in the battlefield, one time an arrow was sent by his enemy to kill him. So Krishna became so heavy, it took the burden of the whole universe, so the chariot can go 6 feet below, so the arrow can go over his head and he don't die. Then Arjuna was shocked. He said, Krishna, who are you? Then Krishna said, Arjuna, I am God. And then he opened his mouth. In the mouth, he saw the disease, the virus, the earthquakes, the famines, all those things. Then he was shocked. He said, who are you? What are they? He said, these are my companions. Whenever life is going out of balance, I use one of them to bring life back to balance. So that answer was given 4,500 years ago by Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Whenever human beings interfere, like we are trying to destroy the environment, all this crisis we're causing, and nature has to teach us lesson, because when nature saw that we're going to destroy them, they have to fight back. Mm-hmm. So they sent some few virus to teach us a lesson, so you don't interfere. It was not an accidental. Accidents only appear to be accident, but they're pre-planned. I don't call it accident. I call all accident thing which happen in another dimension, and we call them this dimension accident. They are all pre-planned things.
Yeah, I guess it depends what angle you're looking at it as to whether or not it feels like an accident or not. And when we're down here in it, it's probably not possible to see it from a different angle when you're in
I
it.
think if you don't pay attention
Yeah.
and we again continue to destroy the ozone layer, destroy the environment, some more virus will come and kill half of the human kingdom. So there won't be many people left to destroy ozone layer. Only few will be left.
So when the majority of us learn to treat our planet with more respect and each other and work together, things like this will stop happening? Or is it when all of us?
I think it can happen to everybody because, when earthquake happen, it doesn't care. When I was very young, my grandmother was only not in high school. She used to, didn't know how to count up to 10. So he asked her, grandmother, why did the earthquake happen? She says, when population increased, the earth can't support them. She does a cosmic dance to get rid of some of the people. So the rest of them she can support. So that was a great answer she gave me.
Yeah.
As a child, even though she was not educated, not a scientist.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that answer. Even though we call punishment, it's not a punishment.
Yeah.
It's nature's way to restore balance.
It's an interesting way to look at it. And sometimes when people are in it and they're devastated by the things that are happening or they're losing loved ones, it's hard to rise above and look at that perspective, isn't it?
Listen, if one person does bad thing, many others get punished for that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because the earthquake doesn't distinguish you're good or bad. You get rid of all. That's the virus. Don't care you're good or bad.
But we just get to go home and be free of our bodies and then choose when we're coming back. So that's that perspective is not as bad as we think, is it?
I think death is not the end of life. Death is just you go to another dimension. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the planet, because it's an interesting one. Because I don't think it's possible for humans to destroy the planet. I think it's possible for humans to make the planet where humans can't live on it, and then the planet will just recover without us.
Yes.
It's not like Earth needs us.
It will create a new form of life. Get rid of everybody, a new form of life will start. The planet will be there.
Yeah, that's like, we're not going to be able to destroy the planet. We'll just make it to a point where we destroy ourselves.
Can't live on it. Yeah.
Is that a concern, I guess, from more the etherical side, that while we're down here, we destroy the planet and then humans can't exist on it, so people can't come back as humans to learn their lessons? Like,
I personally believe we should trust nature and not challenge. Nature knows how to do, and even if you fear, it's not going to help you.
Yeah.
The nature's wisdom is so supreme.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me how long it takes for this universe to die. I said, maybe 1 trillion years. And the reason I say that now is my theory is, if you count the number of cells in your body, the 37 trillion cells, and each cell is the history of our universe, and universe lasts about 9 to 15 billion years. So you're 120 billion trillion old. That's how old you are. Each time the universe,
in the morning, sometimes I feel that old. Yep.
Then each time universe disappears, you put a new dress and come back. So it doesn't matter. You already lived for 120 billion trillion old. That means each cell is history of our universe. And 37 trillion cells tells you that's how many universes you lived so far. So it's endless. You can't even count how long it is. It will be forever. It's endless process. That's what the universe never. So what I'm going to share with you, I'm going to teach a class in Melbourne. When I come there, or maybe with a program, if some people are interested, I can teach them know thyself, love thyself, like half an hour once a month. And in 12 months, I can teach them, and then they can practice for another year. And then I can certify them, know thyself, love thyself consultant. And some of you, when I come there, I can teach a regular class, which I taught in Bendigo, a class in Palmistry with Charles.
Mhm.
But that was only introduction, not the advanced class.
Yeah.
So most likely this year it will be easy because the virus is almost disappearing, because it taught the lesson to people. And it says, if you don't listen, I come back in a much dangerous way. So we have to be careful.
So taking it as a warning that we've been let off as a species, not individually, because some people have really suffered, obviously, but as a species, we've been let off lightly so far.
Yeah. I mean, the human being will never discontinue, because they never disappear, because they always, there are few who will bring back the other. The life on the planet will not end. A lot of we die, but it won't end.
Right. Yeah.
But we have to be careful how we live, respect the environment, help each other, and make sure we don't bring another 10 billion more. That itself destroys ozone layer. If the population reaches to about 30, 40 billion, then the population itself kill each other. They will create disease, and half of them will die anyway. So nature force to find the solution. If we don't,
nature will find it. Yeah. So what role then, you talk a lot about joy and happiness. What role does that have in our way forward as a species?
I think if you study human history, you find the only purpose of life is to experience joy, which is called that. The definition of love is to experience joy. So when you experience joy, you don't do anything to hurt you, don't get sick, you eat well, sleep well. So naturally, we care for each other, and that can make life of the planet survive forever, for all times. So if you can experience joy, which definition of love is to experience joy, and the only way you can experience joy to do service to everybody around you, including yourself, then I don't think we have to worry about the destiny of the planet.
So then why is there so much dark, or what people would perceive as negative experiences? Is that to show us and appreciate, so we can appreciate joy more, so we understand the opposite energy?
And do you know why the evil never win? Do you know why?
Why's that?
Because darkness is evil and light is good. And evil would only exist in the absence of light. When light comes, it doesn't have to fight. So when people live with joy, those are negative, they will either change or they will suffer themselves and end their own pain through changing. So our job is not to fight with them, but to share joy with them. Because when you fight with them, they get more angry, they get more negative.
Yeah.
That's why in my class, I teach them, if somebody is angry with you, you bless them, say, thank God you came. So they're so mad with you, they run away, they won't stay with you anymore.
Wow.
If you bless them for being angry, their idea was to make you angry. So they see they failed the mission. So they find somebody else to make you angry, they run away. So best to deal with them, bless them. Say, I'm grateful to you for being angry.
Wow. What a powerful attitude to have, that also doesn't put negative, and it doesn't mirror that negative energy on. It's not like a comeback. It's just a really powerful attitude. When like your focus on knowing yourself, which, you know, you're finishing Socrates' work by the sound of things. With the knowing thyself, is that something, is that pointing towards us having a natural state of joy and happiness? So if we know ourselves, we're more connected with that? Or is that a doing thing that we have to become more?
Actually, love and knowing that's to go together. So when you love yourself, then you know yourself.
Okay.
And love only can experience joy. And knowing yourself simply helps you how to express your divine nature, so you don't cause problems for other people. So naturally, it makes you a better human. It decreases the negative energy of the planet. You fulfill divine purpose. You live with joy, and you express that part of you, which again express your love. So they go together. For example, right hand is know thyself, left hand is love thyself. Left hand close the heart, right hand close your mind. So these two sides help each other. One helps you to express love, other teach your mind how to express its love. So knowing yourself simply helps you to express your love.
Mhm.
They go together, they're parallel.
So knowing yourself and loving yourself, you're doing a service to the planet and the collective consciousness.
And yourself, not only the planet, yourself, first yourself, then the planet.
Yeah, so it helps you and it helps the planet. So
And
that's
it
a
has
way
to-
of being of service, even if you don't feel like the job you do or the things you're doing are of service, because we can't
and
all do the same kind of work.
it will help everybody.
Yeah.
Life of this planet will change.
Mm-hmm.
And even negative people are negative because they don't love themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you love yourself, you can never be negative.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is the class I can teach on your program. If you get some people, it will be half an hour class once a month, maybe 12 classes in a year. And when I come to Melbourne, I can teach them all together. They can ask question answers. And you both can learn. You can be a good teacher, know thyself, love thyself.
Wonderful. All right, I'm already signed up. Look at this. This is great. I need to ask one of the questions I had, and it comes to where you were talking about the right hand was it the right hand know yourself and the left hand love yourself? Did I get that right?
The left hand love yourself close to the heart.
Sorry.
The
Yeah.
right
Okay.
hand is right hand close to the left brain, which is thinking brain.
Yeah,
that helps you know yourself.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep. See, I got the brain mixed up because it does do opposites. Very good. With the hands, it's very interesting. One of the questions I was going to ask you was kind of why palm reading and what is the power of the hand, because I got into hypnotherapy because I did feel like an energy in the hands, and a lot of hypnosis stuff you use the hands and the energy in the hands to do certain things, and your body naturally can take over those hands and
the simple answer is
simple
answer. When you hear something you can't trust, because somebody say your father is dead, when you go home he's alive. When you see something you don't know unless you touch, and if you take poison you won't want to die. So every sense depends on other sense, but the hand can touch and know. It doesn't depend on it. It's the only independent sense which can find things by itself. Secondly, you bless people not with the feet, not with the eyes, but with the hand. All the composer, the conductor, they move their hand. All the painter use their hand. So the hand expresses your brain and your mind more than any other organ in the body. That's why the hand is so important.
So it's not getting as influenced by other things. It's sensitive very much so to that mind and heart, or just mind?
Well, heart also, because when you love somebody, you touch with the hand.
Yeah.
So the hand expresses your deepest emotions.
That's
and
the
also,
last time I give away a high five flippantly to someone. That sounds like it's more
there's
important.
no other
With your left hand anyway.
By the way, there's no other part of the body which has so many lines as the hand. No other part of the body. And now the simple, one of the simple questions I ask you, try to close all your fingers. When you close them, they become equal, right? Open them again, they become unequal.
Yeah.
Close them again, become equal. That means when you're born, we're equal. When you live and start making new choices, they become unequal. And when you die again, become equal. See how simple it is.
Wow. That's amazing. We've talked a bit about numerology with some people on the show, and the fact that our numbers have been invented by, well, I think it was the Sumerians, but probably some civilization before then that helped them with it, but was with the counting on the fingers. So their thumb counting in between the spaces in their fingers is how we got the 60 seconds to a minute and 360 days in a year, and which is what it was once upon a time. So all of those different things came from the wisdom through the hand.
Correct. And also, by the way,
yeah,
when Moses went to Mount Sinai, God had 36 in the commandment.
Yeah.
But he could not count more than 10. So he got only 10 fingers, thus he got 10 commandments.
So you feel some kind of alien life form with extra digits, it could have been 14 commandments.
Yeah.
20 if he included his
Yeah.
feet.
And if he had an accident on one of the farms with like a sickle, it could have been the 7 commandments, just because he was kind of.
And also, by the way, 10 is 1 and O. This also is male and female, yin and yang. 1 and O, the computer choose 0 and 1 out of 10 fingers. My computer that too. But 1 and O gave birth to life, yin and yang. So the basis of life is 1 and O. That's you get 10 fingers.
Wow. So there's a message in that as well.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, I study palmistry so deeply. Now I use numerology, palmistry together. But palmistry shows more changes. Numerology tell you same thing to everybody born same day, but your fingerprints don't match. So everybody's palmistry is more superior than numerology, because numerology comes to the same conclusion for everybody born a certain day. But palmistry say their fingerprint different, you're still different. They don't match.
Yeah.
And your palms can change, can't they? So getting
when
a reading,
when you change, the palm changes when you change. Yes, when you change your mind, live a new lifestyle, the line change too.
Yeah.
So the lines change.
Yeah.
Yes, when you change.
Okay. So I thought that if you're reading palms and you read someone's palm and something happens, and then you read someone's palm in like 5 years' time and you've got a different message, I thought that might have been because you're tapping into that other dimension. But you're saying that physically the lines in your hand will change to tell a different story. Is that right?
If you're right-handed person, right hand will change, left hand will change. So you can you can look at your own hand, your left and right won't match.
Yeah, they're different. Yeah. So, because when you did the reading for us the other day, you were telling me that the reason why my index finger on my right hand has moved away and I can't even make it go straight, is because that's when I chose spirituality and healing as my
yes,
journey.
And the finger change. Yes.
Yeah, and it moved away. So when you hold my hands up for those watching, my index finger, it just naturally, I can't even make it go closer. And he showed me that's why. It's because I moved away from the left hand, which was what I'm born with and what's happening, but the right hand is what you're actually doing. And so
by the way, listen, I'm born April Fool. My birthday is April Fool's Day, 1st of April.
Congratulations.
So the reason I choose to born April Fool's Day so I can make everybody laugh, because they say all the wise pretend to be fool to make people laugh. So laughter is
serious.
Yes, that's good.
Wow. That is
so. Anyway, whenever you're ready, listen. After 2-3 months you're ready, you plan. I'll teach by Zoom half an hour, because teaching doesn't need 10 hours. Practice needs a whole month. So they will only need half an hour a week to practice, 2 hours a month. And you can collect the money from them. I give some to your show and some I get, we can share together.
Wow.
Yeah, it'll help you. It help your show to make some money too. It's good for both of us.
All right, we'll have to try and work out something out. That sounds great. I think it's good to spread that. It's really important, and conversations like these are really important for people to hear from incredible people like yourself. It's not every day. I don't know many people that have called out Socrates, consulted with Gabriel and Mary.
Right.
I'll say I don't know any. So it's really important that people can hear from other people. This is an incredible thing, and we must let's use technology to get the message out even further. And I'll
be happy to train 12 people around the world so they carry on my mission when I leave this planet. So I'll be happy to share. Right now I'm 84-year-old.
Yep.
And I can teach as long as God lets me stay on this planet. I'll teach.
Well, you got 4 more books, so just take your time with those books. It's a very Quentin Tarantino, which is he's an amazing film. Oh, of course, you probably know him. He's doing 10 movies and 10 movies only, and people are really upset with him. People are very pissed with him because they love his movies, and he says, "No, I'm only doing 10." Do you think he jokes around about it, saying, "I'm just doing 10." Do you think there's something deeper in that number? Do you think artists have a bit of a connection with that sort of thing as well?
What about number 10? Or what about the question?
Yeah, like number 10. It feels like, you know, if you're doing 10 books, he's doing 10 movies. Do you think that maybe Quentin Tarantino's got a divine sense to him?
I decided 10 because I saw the 10 fingers and 10 commandments.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Right. Yep.
So maybe that's what he's doing too.
So you're going with the law of nature, and he might just be going, oh, I've only got 10 in me.
Right. And I think I have the 7th is ready. I've written with a friend of mine from Melbourne. She's from Bendigo.
Okay.
And I was the channel spirit, and she was typing.
Mm-hmm.
So the book is called I'm Amazed and Amazed and Amazed. That's the title of the book.
Looking forward to that one.
I haven't read any of your books yet, and I'm definitely going to be going through some of these books because what incredible knowledge you have.
The best book to read is The Heart Speak to the Mind.
Okay.
The heart is the people like Jesus, Buddha. The mind, people like you and me.
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. Modi,
you like that? Yes.
Because you've channeled some amazing things. You've read the aura palm of Jesus and spoken to Gabriel and some amazing things. Do you know any secrets from the universe like that you would love to share with our listeners and watchers, like the secret of life or some advice that you can leave us with today?
I think everybody needs to connect to the inner self.
Mm.
And each secret will be revealed to them because everybody has a different message for them from the universe. So there's no one single message.
Yep.
And we should each focus on getting message for ourselves.
Beautiful.
That will make a big difference rather than knowing the secret of the universe, because only the creator knows the secrets. Rather, even if you try, it won't help you. So best thing, you go within yourself, connect to inner self, which one of the classes I want to teach later, how to go inside to get the answers after teaching you know thyself, love thyself. Mm-hmm. So that is the better answer. If you try to know the secret, it takes you trillions of years, you'll be dead before you can know the answer.
They're very wise words. Is that similar to having the idea of know thyself before you go into these temples as being you have to have some kind of basis right, to then work out the information rather than just walking in and being inundated with no foundation.
And I think the universal secret given to the prophets, those who come from the whole planet, so they can handle the information and don't exploit, don't misuse it. So everybody cannot know it, even if they try.
So we need to look within and figure out why we're here individually and what we're learning, how to love ourselves. I know I've channeled many times to many clients that the one thing we do all have in common about our lessons of why we're here is to learn to love ourselves and forgive ourselves everything and be completely happy with where we're at, no matter what we look like, what we think we've done wrong in the past. Just love ourselves unconditionally, and then that's it. We will grow and learn and be able to share that knowledge with others. You
cannot know the unknown because unknown is trillion time. In a whole lifetime, we know only 2 to 3% of ourselves. That's why I tell people, anybody who says they know you, they're telling you a lie. because you know only 2%, they can know only 10% of you. So they know only 0.02% of you.
Yeah.
They can't know more than you. You know only 2% of yourself. They say genius can know 4 to 5%. And they only can know 10% of what you know.
Can you know more about yourself, even if you're not a genius, by learning where you come from, some of your past lives, or understanding why you're here? Or if you're more evolved, like, like Buddha, they know more of themselves?
There's no limit how far you can know. Nobody, unless you place a limit. There's no limit.
Yep. Love that. Yeah. Our own imagination is at the only limit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. You're a part of the whole cosmos. There's nothing stops you from knowing more than anybody else.
Yeah, love it. So much.
I'm very happy.
About
your show is very good. I'm really pleased the way you do the show.
Well, you've made it amazing. I think you've opened so many different possibilities for people. For me anyway, very interesting, very wise words, which resonates as truth, and very interesting stories around your spiritual journey. This time around in this life, but obviously for many lives.
Yes.
What a path.
Yes. Many stories. Is very entertaining to listen to all his many stories. I was very privileged to be able to listen to many stories in India on the tour with him. So Mr. Modi, can you show us your beautiful face while you're telling us about how people can reach you and contact you if they would like their palms read?
Yes.
I think the best way is you give them an email, modisingh@gmail.com.
Okay.
And email. Okay.
Because if you give the phone number, sometimes the phone number changes. But a friend of mine told me the email is carried by an angel, so you can't miss it. The telephone, if the wireless is not working, the telephone won't go. So he said the email will surely reach you. He didn't know the satellite. He said when an angel comes to you, he pick my email and deliver to you, so you'll always get it.
It is pretty magical, so give him that. Yeah.
Oh, so we'll put your email in the comments. But
we'll have the email.
It's Modi
that's the best.
@gmail.com.
That's the best way to reach me.
Okay.
And I think the other is phone number only. They can reach WhatsApp, but you can get the phone number. It's New York is 212-874-6214.
Okay. And we'll have that information. We'll have your website up there as well if people want to learn a bit more about your books and what you've done and connect with you. That would be just wonderful, just fantastic.
And I'm grateful to both of you. You've been very good. And I like your questions. The more deeper you go inside, the better questions will come.
Mm-hmm.
So most likely next 6 to 8 months, I'll do another show.
Please.
On a different wisdom. I will talk about wisdom for the cosmos.
Wisdom for the Cosmos. We've got you booked in already in 8 months' time.
Title.
Wisdom for the Cosmos. And everyone will tune in for that.
And you can do booking from Melbourne, and I can do, I think when I go to Melbourne, Charles does booking for me. He gets me 100 people in a week. So
of course.
Any one of you get a booking, they can even get in touch with you or with Charles, and then directly send me email.
Yes,
Great.
That's
we'll have those
cool. I
details
know
up.
you're very popular when you're here, which is wonderful. Actually, my fiance Daniel tried to get in with you, but then COVID happened. So he was very happy to have his online Zoom reading in the meantime. How long do you think, just before we close, do you think till you will be able to, everyone will be able to travel more freely because you're in New York at the moment? When do you think from your channeling and understanding you'll be able to come here again?
I think I would like to come as soon as possible. But my first visit seemed to be I may go to Czech Republic, Prague, and Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
And then usually when I go to Melbourne, I fly to India back to New York. I make this country to get same time. Yeah. I fly to your country, from there go to India, back to New York. So it's possible it could be somewhere in the summer, but thinking upon how things are, But my feeling is the virus getting much, it will allow us to travel now.
Okay. Well, it's a long way down under anyway. But we'll make sure we keep people up to date as well, because to be in your presence online has been a beautiful thing. So to be in your presence in person will be a special thing too. Hopefully
I'm very happy. Anytime. Thank you
very
and
much
great
for your wisdom. We really appreciate it.
And you're doing a great job for Australia. Keep doing good work.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Modi.
Thank you so much.
Bye. That's it for another episode, but that doesn't have to be the end of the conversation.
Feel free to leave your comments on our YouTube channel, or for those podcast listeners, you can email us at mickandthepsychic@gmail.com to leave your feedback or questions.
I'm a certified hypnotherapist and timeline regression therapist. If you wish to contact me to explore the source of an issue you're facing, just book a session at hearnhypnosis.com.au and include the promo code MATP for 10% off. You can contact me on Insta and Facebook at Hearn Hypnosis.
Check out my website at optimisticxavier.com.au if you feel you'd like to connect with me as a psychic medium, spiritual mentor, or intuitive coach. Include the promo code MATP for 10% discount. You can also find me on Insta, LinkedIn, and Facebook.
We look forward to connecting with you again next time as we attempt to leave no stone unturned.
Bye.
All right, cool. I reckon that should be okay.